Good morning, staff and parents. My name is Niamh, and I am an early career teacher in the area of HPE and Maths. I'm here today to propose a curriculum innovation in the area of HPE practical assessment. The current practice at our school is that teachers observe students' performance, then judge and grade based solely on this. This process, whilst common in high schools, I believe provides potential opportunities for inconsistencies in teacher judgment. In order to make this observation process more reliable, I propose a 3-phase moderation plan to enhance the consistency of teacher judgment. According to Borghaus, assessing HPE practicals is one of the most fraught and troublesome tasks we must deal with as HPE teachers. Literature identifies 3 key challenges that teachers face when assessing practical HPE. Subjectivity of judgment making. This indicates that teachers, when assessing, are involved in constructing implications for action, meaning that teachers may search for, notice, or assume aspects in the performance, which may lead to other areas being overlooked. Identities and power in judgment making. This means that teachers use their identity, experience, or power as evidence to validate or award a student's grade. For example, students performing better or worse in a class because their teacher is an easy or hard marker. Standards when judgment making. This involves teachers having inconsistent and varying comprehensions of the standards in relation to the task. Therefore, when assessing evidence of what constitutes an A, a B, or a C is blurred, which makes separating and justifying grades more difficult and inconsistent. According to primary research, Roster identified that it is important to utilise a variety of tools to ensure consistency and equity in moderation, and that not one process is more effective than others. Roster admits that interpretation can influence standards and sometimes can sway teachers. This is why it is important that moderation processes are in place to ensure that everyone is on the same page, and that moderation conversations are an opportunity for learning and growth to occur within the school. It is important that when teachers begin to collaborate, they should unpack standards, curriculum documents, and content descriptors together. This is supported by research indicating the importance of developing and having an in-depth understanding of the assessment task and standards at the beginning of the unit to enhance professional judgment and consistency throughout the duration of the term. The aim of my innovation is to implement a moderation plan that teachers will integrate throughout the entire semester of learning, as opposed to just at the end. I have recognised that teachers have varying ideas of judgments against the standards unless there is a shared common understanding. Therefore, my innovation recognises the importance to forefront the planning of assessment criteria and standards, rather than assessment as an endpoint of learning. The evidence suggests that if teachers focus on developing an in-depth understanding of the assessment task, associated standards and criteria at the start of the unit, it creates common understandings between teachers, judgments, and standards. According to Colbert, Whitesmith, and Klawinski, through such a focus on assessment prior to learning, teachers will begin to develop a shared language. This moderation plan relies on social moderation and the shared discussions between teachers, which aims to promote a shared literacy. The stakeholders include teachers, students, and parents. All benefit from this innovation. The objective is to apply a 3-phase moderation process put in place to overcome these challenges. The first will consist of front-ending assessments, which requires teachers to collectively discuss, unpack, and break down the assessment tasks of that term before the commencement of Term 1 learning. This will focus on defining, understanding, and applying the standards in alignment with the assessment task in order to facilitate reliability and consistency in pedagogy and judgment. Phase 2 will take place during the commencement of learning in the term. Teachers will utilise staff meetings, pupil free days, and professional development time to ensure that the ongoing learning and development is taking place. These meetings will provide teachers the opportunity to reflect and improve on practice. Exemplars and samples of work will be utilised for analysis and discussion to enhance learning of standards and applications and justifications. The final phase will be applying moderation practice. Due to the effective utilisation of the other two phases, teachers will now be prepared to consistently observe, judge and assess students' practical assessments, informed by the standards. This will follow with final moderation of assessments, allowing teachers to consult, negotiate and compare to achieve a consensus. This three-phase moderation process enables teacher judgment to be consistent and valid against the relevant standards, therefore ensuring the correct standards are allocated to students A to E. The outcomes of this innovation is that teachers will be more consistent when making judgment on HP practical assessment tasks. They will develop a deeper understanding of achievement standards and assessment literacy. Students will also have a greater understanding of assessment and how to perform well in a HP practical task. The benefits are that teachers will become more confident and equitable in their judgment and assessing of HP practical tasks. Students will be exposed to an inclusive and equitable assessment process, and all stakeholders will have an enhanced confidence in our teachers' ability to judge and assess students' performance validly. The timeline of innovation is Term 1 based. However, the innovation is ongoing and it is a future goal to work with other departments to implement this as a whole school approach. Thank you for taking the time to come to this meeting this morning and listening to my proposal curriculum innovation. Moderations is an integral component of assessment, and if my three-phase plan is implemented, I'm confident that it will benefit all stakeholders.